ask two things. One, I want to do is a quick little companion video to, not the puppy one, unfortunately. If I had more puppy videos, I could upload them. But to the other one, I think what I want you guys to know is I also understand the fact that sometimes when things get a bit too to the left, change is hard to go through, and when I'm scared, I guess just kidding. But what I'm trying to say is, with my last video on like the endorsing love thing, I want to do part 2 to that because for the conservative side, because I got a comment right at the beginning of this, my first couple weeks getting this YouTube, asking me if how I felt about the conservatism in the United States right now, and to be honest, I don't agree with it. I don't agree with Trump support, but I can see where people got there, because when change happens too quickly, when things happen, when we are, when all of a sudden we're supposed to go on all these different sides and step out of a comfort zone, it can be really tough. And these are people who are now being told, your generation or your race or your spirituality is part of the problem. And while I don't agree with people like really digging their heels in and keeping, like, not being able to kind of at least concede, okay, yes, there needs to be some changes, I can see how people can feel offended. I can see how, putting the I believe putting the statues of the conservative generals in the river was a mistake. I don't agree that we should maybe have them on a 10-foot pedestal, literally, but at the same time we should put them in a museum where we recognize, where North America recognizes that history. And again, I realize it's in Canadian, I have no place to say this, but as a human being, I know that when something important to me is really turned on its head way too fast, it's really hurtful and I can get defensive. So I'm not saying, I don't agree with everything Trump does at all, but at the same time, I can see where people hold on to the businessman narrative because they need to feel like somebody's on their side. And I'd be remiss if I said I didn't get that. I didn't hold on to something that, yeah, maybe I could stretch a little bit more. But, when change happens so quickly, it's a lot to handle. And to speak from a sociology perspective, when things happen too fast, people are more likely to feel despair coming from something known as anime, which is the kind of despair that comes when things change way too quickly in society, where you you don't recognize the world you're living in, basically, and I think that's what we've done to those people who are a bit more on the right of the spectrum, is that we've kind of swung it so far the other side that we're not seeing seeing the good parts. Like, we almost forget that there were Americans who were white who really helped out Martin Luther King's bus boycott. There were moments of camaraderie, even in the most conservative way, and I think we forget that. And I think we need to recognize that. And I'm not shaming America. Canadians need to know that too. That it's not all bad, the past is not bad. Yes, there are mistakes in the church, for example, but there are many stories of saints who helped out, the very, very sick, or were very sick themselves, but always were kind towards their sisters, so we can't throw the baby out with the bathwater when it comes to tradition. And I think we just need to make a promise to ourselves to really, as it says, have like springs for our perspectives, where it's still a firm structure, but we can stretch a little bit, we can reach new heights, but in a way that doesn't make people feel like you just broke down my entire world. Don't make me feel bad for who I am. So I think that's why I don't agree with the mega ground, but I have sympathy for the feelings of not recognizing the world that their families lived in. And I don't have any sympathy for people like the Proud Boys, but for those who are just honestly good, hardworking, conservative kids in the States who just don't understand why the child is going about gender and grade 3 and that sort of thing. I do understand why all this change could be really hard to take. So that is my message, because I really want to try and balance out as much as I can. So please know that I do respect tradition, and I have great empathy for everybody in the States right now, because even the people I don't agree with, there must be a lot of unacknowledged subconscious pain to say some of the things that people have said. And so that's what I try to remember when I show my liberal side or conservative side, that there's people. I'm gonna sound like something, but I have to remember that people are just really trying to deal with a lot of change really rapidly, and from a sociological standpoint, from a psychological standpoint, let's try to remember before we start throwing stones that that's really tough. Because which one of us hasn't struggled with change at some point in our lives? Even Jesus did, So, with the egging in the gun. So, we just need to recognize that change isn't easy. And before we get on everybody's case, let's just try to remember that. Okay, love you guys, and I make a promise to you the next one will be comical. God bless.